Financial Services Committee. Good to see you again. Thank you for being with us. Let's just start with those comments you heard from Joel Pollak at Breitbart and Laura Ingraham and all of them. I mean, is this really the idea that the president's talking to Republicans? Is this really the end of everything for Donald Trump and the Republican Party, that there's some bipartisanship?
You know, it's amazing. The Democrats on the left are going insane, too. They're screaming. I was reading an article today about how upset they are that Nancy Pelosi and or Congresswoman Pelosi and Senator Schumer are negotiating with this horrible president. And oh my God, it's all, everyone on the extremes are up in arms.
Right, but actually this might be the way politics is supposed to work, right?
Yeah, aren't we supposed to be arguing and debating and finally coming up with something? There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody wrings their hands. Oh, we got to get a deal. Everybody has to smile. No, that's not how this country was conceived.
Right.
We've got to, we've got to battle out our ideas. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
I had a great conversation with one of your colleagues from Kansas, Roger Marshall, yesterday.
Oh, yes.
They're big agricultural folks out there, and in your part of New York State, you're agricultural folks, and he wants a congressional solution to DACA. He doesn't think it's a good idea to get rid of these almost 800,000 DACA workers, many of whom are agricultural workers. What's your take on this?
I think DACA is going to be a great bargaining chip for the president. I think he needs to use it to get the things that he would like to have, and I don't think you're going to kill your base with DACA. DACA is one element of a very, very broad immigration policy. Remember, we have over 4 million people waiting in line to be legal citizens of this country.
Right.
Millions more waiting for visas. We have refugees we've taken in who we've given safe haven to. It's a complex issue. I think the president needs to negotiate for the things that we haven't gotten. We want to get Obamacare repealed and replaced. We want to get tax reform. It's a must for our side. And so I think all this hysteria over it is not talking to the problem. I mean, a lot of people are sympathetic. I'm sympathetic to people, young people who were brought here. But we can't continue a policy where we encourage people to come across the line, put them in front of and first in line ahead of the legal residents. But at the same time, I think there's a bill called the Recognizing American Children Act that Congressman Carlos Curbella has out. It's a very interesting bill. I'm looking at co-sponsoring it.
Okay.
And I don't think it would be an anathema to the Trump supporters, and I don't think it hurts the immigration issue. I think you need to build the wall. I know for a while I was not sure so much about the wall, but I've spoken to a number of people who think we need to do it. Even our speaker said he went to the wall, to the border, and the people on the border think it would help.
But the language is changing on this, right? So for Trump supporters and Breitbart and all that, it's build the wall. For Democrats, it's increase border security.
Well, we put the funding in appropriations for the wall. Now, remember this. We just passed 12 appropriations bills on regular order, the first time that's been done since 2009.
Yes.
We have done pretty much the president's entire agenda in the House side, except for tax reform.
Right.
So we're getting to that. But I think the president can use DACA. It's something that I think a lot of people agree on. I don't think we should continue the policy of DACA. I think that people should be coming here legally. I don't want to give encouragement for people to come across the border. And also the idea of giving them citizenship, I don't support, because guess what happens? We go through the family plan. You go through the getting everybody else in. So it isn't just 700,000 or 800,000 people. It becomes millions. And not that I'm not sympathetic to them, but many of them are, and probably most of them are great citizens, students, and we want to make sure they get a pass.
The president's unveiled an immigration plan, the RAISE Act, through Stephen Miller.
Okay,
that is talking about, but it's talking about, and that's there are a lot of countries who use a point or merit-based system, but we're actually talking about reducing the number of legal immigrants, which is strange, because if the president is talking, he's so reliant on this increase in GDP growth to finance the tax cuts that he wants to put in, that, the math doesn't work on that. We are a country that doesn't replace its own workers. We've got a below 5% unemployment rate. So I feel like this administration doesn't have a strong handle on what you have well described as the complex problem of immigration. It's just not simple.
Yeah, I think what the president's done is said, you need to do something about this. It was what he did on DACA. We knew it was coming under attack by attorneys general. They were going to sue, and they were probably going to win. So the president gave us a reprieve on all sides. He said, okay, Congress, this is your job. You deal with this immigration issue. Come up with a solution. You haven't done it in years. We've been through how many administrations? And back to Congressman Marshall, there is an issue in the ag world. We have more and more people who need employees to work on family farms. Family farms the larger you get, you don't have as many children to work on the farm anymore. So we do
We're talking specifically about dairy farms. There's a lot of labor that's involved.
Yeah, and we do have a program right now for seasonal workers, for example. Seasonal workers do come in.
H-2C visas I'm talking about.
But we don't have a year-round program for dairy farmers, and that's something that I would consider. But I want these people to be legal. We want to provide legal path to citizenship with them without being amnesty, making sure that the people that want to come in prove that they want to be American citizens, they want to assimilate. I think that Carlos Curbello's bill does a lot of that, and I don't think it would be offensive to the Trump supporters. I think there's a lot of overreaction happening on it. We need to have borders. We need to protect our sovereignty. That is the distinguishing feature of this country, to preserve our freedom, to preserve the way of life. And I think that we're trying to do that. And I think the president gave all of us, and he gave a mission to Congress on both sides. Get this done. Get it done. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Congresswoman, we always run out of stuff to talk. Don't run out of time to talk about the stuff that we never run out to talk about. But thank you for coming in and always talking to us. Representative Claudia Tenney of New York is a member of the House Financial Services Committee. She's, by the way, she's from the 22nd Congressional District in New York, Binghamton.